Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
Johnny Rogers with the history of rock and roll is coming to the Watch Your Opera House this Saturday, February 1st from 6 to 8 p.m., featuring the music of Buddy Holly, Elvis Presley, Richie Valens, The Big Bopper, Ricky Nelson, the Everly Brothers, and so much more. Tickets are $30, which you can purchase at the door or online at watchyouroperahouse.org. Come and see Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Johnny Rogers this Saturday, February 1st at the Watch Your Opera House. Looking for something to do this Friday night? Come see Cody Hicks with an acoustic show live at the Keswick Tavern, 117 South Irons in Keswick. It's this Friday, January 31st from 8 to 11 p.m. Plus, there's no cover charge. You're going to hear all your favorite tunes acoustic style with Iowa's Cody Hicks this Friday from 8 to 11 at the Keswick Tavern, now under new ownership with Ike Schmidt.
There is optimism in the soybean export market this year. From whole beans to soy meal to oil, it looks encouraging. On Successful Farming Radio.
Successful Farming Radio, providing information farmers need in the field, in the shop, and in the office. Committed to growing your business in agriculture.
Successful Farming presents the 15 Minutes with a Farmer podcast. In each episode, a successful farming editor has a quick conversation with a farmer, chock full of stories and advice from their area of agriculture. They're interesting, educational, and perfect for your busy schedule. Search for 15 Minutes with a Farmer wherever you download your podcasts. Check out our full lineup of Successful Farming podcasts. The Successful Farming podcast goes in-depth into the topics that affect farmers and ranchers. The 15 Minutes with a Farmer podcast offers a quick conversation between an editor and a farmer. The SF Shorts podcast offers bite-sized interviews about agricultural topics. And the SF Daily podcast covers commodity markets, weather, and the big things happening in agriculture each morning. Search for Successful Farming wherever you download your podcasts.
USDA projections are predicting an increase in soybean acres this year. Soybean producers ramping up for the 2021 planting season should feel good about the prospects in the export markets. Monty Peterson is chairman of the board for the U.S. Soybean Export Council. He says from a farmer perspective, things are more encouraging now than they were less than a year ago. Market prices and increased sales and export levels of the U.S. crop give reason for optimism.
Well, I think there's no question that the global soy complex has pivoted. You know, the world has transitioned from a global surplus of soy to one of tightening supplies as this global demand swells, and U.S. soy is moving the pile.
Countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Egypt have shown growth in the last 4 or 5 years of anywhere from 50 to 500%. He says that's encouraging because it looks like they prefer U.S. soy and are shining examples of new markets that are developing. We're also seeing strong forward growth in sales to countries like Mexico, Indonesia, and Vietnam. All parts of the bean are in high demand.
Certainly, we're seeing whole soy move at a greater pace. That's mostly due to China. Soybean meal has continued to find its way out of the country. And I think probably the most surprising, at least to me, component here as of late is the demand on soybean oil. We've seen this uptick in the amount of soybean oil leaving the country. So the whole complex looks encouraging to me.
I'm Jody Henke. Read more about soybean exports at agriculture.com.